is Priya. I would like to present about disaster management desertification. Table of content included in disaster management desertification, which included what is desertification, drivers of desertification, issues of desertification, land degradation, control of desertification, and followed by measure directly and measure indirectly, conclusion, and also reference. So we start with what is desertification. Desertification is a contrary to popular perception. Desertification is not the loss of the land to desert or through the sand-dune movement. Desertification is referred to the land degradation in arid, semi-arid, and subhumid areas, which is resulting from the various factors, which is including in a climatic variation and also human activities. When land degradation happens in the human dryland, it is often created the desert-like a condition, and land degradation occurs everywhere, but it is defined as a desertification when it occurs in a dry land. So that behind the land degradation lies disturbance of the biological cycles on which the cycle depend, as well as the social and development issues. Furthermore, the social of the degraded land has been less capacities to support the plant growth, resulting in the loss of the vegetation and economic productivities. In fact, that the animal and also plants are able to adapt it to the dry land, and desertification has the serious consequences for the environment. It is often caused by the human activities such as overgrazing, overcultivation, deforestation, and poorly planned irrigation system. And extreme climatic events such as drought or floods can also accelerate the processes. Drivers of desertification. Land degradation reduce or destroy the soil productivities, vegetation and arrival, and grazing land as well as the forest. In the most extreme cases, hunger and also poverty setting become both the causes and consequences of the future degradation. So, further, it is important to recognize that the issues can only be generalized to the certain extent beyond which each country and also region must be viewed in their individual context to excessive use of the chemical fertilizer. So we continue with the issues of desertification. There are two main issues of desertification. First is climatic variation and second one is human activity. Climatic variation is where drought means the naturally occurring of phenomena that exist when the precipitation has been significantly below the recorded level and causes the serious hydrological imbalance that adversely affect the land resources production system. And climatic variation also included the high sustained temperature lasting for months in a infrequency and also irregular rainfall that lead to drought and difficult growing conditions for plants and also trees. Followed by the human activities. In countries where major economic resources are dependent on the agriculture activities, there are few alternative sources of income and none at all. This is turned the causes of the soil to lose the organic matter, which is limiting the plant growth and reducing the vegetation recovering. So there are four main human activities are the most immediate causes. First is over-cultivating exhausted the soil. Second one is overgrazing, which means remove the vegetation covers that protect from the erosion. Third one is deforestation, that means destroy the trees that is bind to the soil, to the land, and also poorly drained irrigation system turn into the cropland salty. So what are the examples of the land degradation? There are three main examples of land degradation. First is soil siltation, deforestation and environmental degradation. So what do you understand of soil siltation? Soil siltation, there are several severe consequences which is linked to increase the land degradation in irrigated land where water from the underground of receiver is often polluted, evaporation that brings the mineral salts to the surfaces and resulting in the high acidity. So this will be render the soil unsuitable for the crops which cannot be withstand with the high salt concentration. Similarly, vegetation of cover may not be given enough time to re-establish itself during the entirety of the grazing period or when the grazing activities affect the plots that have already been cultivated. So second example are deforestation. That means water speeds up the erosion as the direct result of the tree clearing and deforestation and the forest ecosystem which is disappears. So this has the severe consequence for the soil fertilities as well as the preservation of the animal and also plant species. In fact, root maintains the soil structure and also can limit the soil erosion since they help water infiltration, which is reduce the water runoff and encouraging the completion of the rich productivity soil. Continued by the environmental degradation, Land degradation can also trigger a cycle of environmental degradation, which is employment, immigration, and also conflict often jeopardize the political stability of affected countries and regions. Population in the dryland often endure very harsh economic condition, which is suffering from the low per capita income and high infant mortality rate. Furthermore, it is degraded land may also cause Down syndrome such as the flooding, poor water quality, sedimentation in rivers and lakes, and settles up of receiver and negations of channels. So how to control of desertification? There are few ways. First, you need to know what is control of desertification. That means desertification can be reversed, but only in a far-reaching changes are made in a local and international action, which means step by step these changes will be ultimately lead to sustainable land use and food security for growing world population. So the first point is to improve the land management. That means to combat the desertification, it is necessary to restore and fertilize the land, and nutrition such as a nitrogen, calcium, magnesium, etc. must be in the soil for plants to grow healthy. Diversity production is where diversing a crop and animal production which allow a better use of the animal resources and prevent overproduction of the single species or a crop, followed by the restore land. Restore land is where land degradation needs to be a permanent, and also to restore degradation land, crop technique should be improved by stabilizing the soil while enriching with the organic matter and selecting the different crop of variety. Even the slightest water level can be used to irrigate and make unproductivity soil productivity. It is also important to combat a marked soil salinity by employing the most effective system of irrigation, and then followed by the control erection. To prevent the desertification or to restore the productivity or damaged soil, erection control is external. That means a number of simple mechanical means of the abolition of the effect of the wind, and also to prevent the displacement of the sand and also dust. So number 5 is use a non-wood energy sources. That means you need to use a human society that use the energy which is vital for the proper functioning and also development. There are 3 main energies. First, we start with the solar energy. Solar energy is given the right technology, the bright sunny condition, and also characteristic of arid, semi-arid region, and can satisfy energy needs in this area. However, this may be still too expensive for widespread use. Ideally, solar energy would be obviously choose and also would be many ways also. So, wind tunnel need to be set open exposed areas where high average wind speed at least 20 km. Furthermore, wind energy is growing rapidly because it can provide more energy on a large scale than the solar power. So the lastly is biogas. Biogas is where natural gas and also biogas in the essence the same fuel but the different origin. While the natural gas in fossil fuel, biogas is a renewable fuel which is produced through the fermentation of the organic materials such as household and also agricultural waste. So the high temperature in the dryland are beneficial to the biogas creation. So we continue with the measure which is designed to combat desertification directly and to promote the sustainable management of natural resources. First, you need to know erection control. Second one is conservative and sustainable use of land resources. Third one is rehabilitation of degraded land. Fourth one is better land, water, and also river basin management. Followed by number 5, enstablement of a sustainable irrigation facilities to secure the stable water supplies, and sustainable forest management and effective reforestation program. And lastly is use a modern and safe biotechnological to disseminate drought-resistant species. So we continue with the measure which is designed to promote indirectly where the conservation and sustainable management of natural resources. First, you need to know land use planning and adequate land tenure policies and sustainable agriculture policies, followed by the sustainable use of scarce natural resources, including renewable sources of energy and protection of our biodiversity. Lastly, is coping with the population pressure. So, as a conclusion for the disaster management desertification, this desertification is illustration with devastating consequences for both human and also the environment. This measure can be meet the human needs only while maintaining the dry land's fragile ecology. In the simple term, this means that all dry land resistance must incorporate which is respected for dry land ecology in the routine of their daily life. This is the references that I have used to complete my disaster management desertification presentation. Thank you.